There's a silence in the stadium that feels wrong. 10,000 people packed into the seats, not a single word, just the sound of a wheelchair squeaking across the dirt. A 17-year-old boy sits in that chair. His mouth is gagged. His hands are tied. His mother is somewhere in the crowd, holding back tears she's not allowed to cry. 3 soldiers step forward. They raise their rifles. Nine shots crack through the air. The boy's chest explodes. For a moment, the crowd gasps, then silence again. And then something even stranger happens. Applause. Loud, frantic clapping that lasts for 10 full minutes. Can you imagine standing in that crowd, being forced to clap while a teenager bleeds out in front of you? Being the mother of that boy and having to pretend you agree with his murder? This is North Korea. So what did this 17-year-old do? What crime could possibly deserve 9 bullets in the chest? Did he kill someone? Did he try to overthrow the government? Did he steal weapons? No. He listened to K-pop, South Korean pop music. That's it. He was a fan of the wrong songs. And for that, Kim Jong-un's regime decided he deserved to die. In front of his classmates, in front of his mother, in front of 10,000 people who were forced to celebrate his death. You might think K-pop is annoying. You might hate the songs, but would you execute a teenager for listening to it? Kim Jong-un would, and he has, multiple times. Because in North Korea, foreign music isn't just entertainment. It's poison. It's a virus. It shows North Koreans a world they're not supposed to know exists. A world where people are free, where they can choose their own music, their own movies, their own lives. In 2021, Kim Jong-un made the rules even stricter. He pushed a new law through his government. It said that watching South Korean dramas or listening to American pop music could get you executed. Not jailed, not fined, killed. Teenagers have been shot for watching Squid Game. Schoolgirls have been sent to labor camps for singing with a South Korean accent. One wrong song on your phone and your entire family could be destroyed. But here's the terrifying part. This isn't even the worst law in North Korea, not even close. In most countries, if you commit a crime, you pay for it. You go to jail. You face the consequences. Your family might be disappointed, but they don't get punished. Your parents don't go to prison because you stole something. Your children don't get arrested because you broke a law. But North Korea doesn't work that way. North Korea has something called the 3 generations rule, and it's exactly as horrifying as it sounds. If you commit a crime in North Korea, 3 generations of your family get punished. Your parents, your grandparents, your children, your grandchildren who haven't even been born yet. All of them guilty. All of them sent to prison camps to rot for crimes they never committed. Let me make this clear. If a grandfather steals food because his family is starving, his son goes to prison. His grandson goes to prison. And if that grandson's wife is pregnant when they arrest him, that unborn baby will be born behind bars and live their entire life in a labor camp. A child punished for a crime that happened before they even existed. This actually happens. Defectors from North Korea have told stories about children growing up in camps who never knew anything else. Kids who were born in prison, who learned to walk in prison, who spent their childhood breaking rocks and working in mines because their grandfather said something bad about Kim Jong-un 20 years ago. Think about that for a second. In the United States, if your grandfather commits a crime, you live your normal life. In the UK, Canada, Australia, your family might feel shame, but you don't lose your freedom. In North Korea, you lose everything, your childhood, your future, your life, and you don't even know why. The reason Kim Jong-un keeps this law is simple: fear. If you know that speaking out against the government will destroy your parents, your kids, everyone you love, you stay silent. You obey. You clap when they tell you to clap. You cry when they tell you to cry. Because the alternative is watching 3 generations of your bloodline disappear into a prison camp that might as well be hell. And here's the worst part. Even if you try to escape that hell, Kim Jong-un has built a system to make sure you never make it out alive. November 2019. A North Korean soldier named Oh Chong-song is driving his military jeep near the border. He's supposed to be on patrol. Instead, he makes a decision that will either save his life or end it. He floors the gas pedal and drives straight toward the demilitarized zone, the border between North Korea and South Korea, the most dangerous border on Earth. Alarms start blaring. Soldiers at the checkpoint realize what's happening. Oh Chong-song isn't stopping. He's running. His jeep crashes through the checkpoint barrier and races into the DMZ. Behind him, North Korean soldiers start firing. Bullets slam into his jeep. The windshield shatters, but he keeps driving. Faster, closer to the South Korean side. And then his tire explodes. The jeep skids sideways and crashes into a ditch. Oh Chong-song kicks open the door and runs. Blood pouring from bullet wounds, legs barely working. But he runs anyway, because stopping means death. North Korean soldiers are still shooting at him. South Korean soldiers on the other side can see him coming, but can't cross the border to help. He's in the middle, alone, bleeding, dying. He collapses just a few feet from the South Korean side. South Korean soldiers finally rush forward and drag him across. They get him to a hospital. Surgeons remove 5 bullets from his body. They find parasites in his stomach that were over a foot long. This is what life in North Korea does to people, even soldiers, even the ones who are supposed to be loyal. Oh Chong-song survived, but he's one of the lucky ones. Since the Korean War ended, only about 30,000 people have successfully escaped North Korea. 30,000 out of 26 million. That's barely 1/10%. The rest are trapped. And if they're caught trying to escape, they're not just punished, they're erased, shot on sight at the border, executed in public stadiums, sent to camps where they'll never be seen again. In 2023, a man named Kim escaped with his pregnant wife, his mother, his brother's entire family, and his father's ashes in a bag. They crossed the ocean on a stormy night because they knew the military would be less alert. The men carried swords. The women carried poison in case they were caught. They made it, but most don't. The border is covered with landmines. Armed guards patrol every inch. There are jammers blocking phone signals so no one can call for help. If you somehow make it past all of that, you still have to cross into China, where authorities often send defectors back to North Korea. And if you're sent back, you face the 3 generations rule. Your whole family pays for your attempt at freedom. But even if you never try to escape, even if you live your entire life inside North Korea's borders, Kim Jong-un still controls something you'd think was impossible to control. Your face, your name, your very identity. In most countries, you can walk into a barbershop and get whatever haircut you want. You can dye your hair purple, shave it all off, grow it down to your waist. It's your hair, your choice. Nobody arrests you for it. In North Korea, there are exactly 28 government-approved hairstyles, 18 for women, 10 for men. That's it. Those are your options. And if you try anything else, you're accused of having a corrupted mind, of being infected by Western culture, of betraying your country with your hair. Men have to keep their hair short, never longer than 5 centimeters, about 2 inches. Flat tops are recommended. Clean, uniform, obedient. Women can have a bob, but not too long, and definitely not too short. Short hair on a woman looks too masculine, too rebellious, and rebellion is dangerous. There was actually a TV show in North Korea called Let's Trim Our Hair in Accordance with the Socialist Lifestyle. I'm not making that up. The show would drag people off the street who had messy hair and shame them on national television. The host would say things like, "We must question the cultural taste of this comrade who cannot feel ashamed of his disheveled hair. Can we expect someone with this mindset to perform his duty well?" The answer was always no, and everyone watching knew what happened to people who failed their duties. Here's the strangest part. Kim Jong-un himself has a unique hairstyle that nobody else is allowed to copy. That's right. He made a law saying you can only have one of 28 haircuts, but his haircut isn't one of them. Because he wants to look different, special, like a leader. If anyone tries to copy his look, they get sent to labor camps for mocking the supreme leader. But it's not just your hair, it's your name too. When Kim Jong-un took power in 2011 after his father died, he ordered everyone in North Korea with a name similar to his to change it. Anyone named Jong-un had to pick a new name, by force, because only the leader can have that name. And recently, he did the same thing for his daughter, Kim Ju-ae. If your name sounds anything like hers, you're changing it. no discussion. And then there are the portraits. In every home in North Korea, you must have portraits of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on your wall. Kim Jong-un's grandfather and father. Not Kim Jong-un himself because he's still alive, but the other two are mandatory. They have to hang in the highest spot on your wall, higher than any other picture, higher than your family photos, higher than anything, because they're looking down on you, watching you, judging you. The police come to your house randomly to inspect these portraits. They check if they're clean, if they're hung properly, if they're respected. You have to clean them with a special white cloth the government gives you, not just any cloth. A government-issued cloth specifically for cleaning the leaders' faces. If there's dust on the portraits, you're in trouble. If they're hung too low, you're in trouble. If they're tilted even slightly, you're accused of disrespecting the state. In 2020, a woman's house caught fire in Onsong County. Her 2 children were trapped inside, screaming. She ran into the burning house and grabbed her kids. She saved their lives. She should have been called a hero. Instead, she was arrested because on the wall, the portraits of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il were burning, and she chose to save her children instead of the portraits. Let that sink in. A mother saved her kids from a fire and got arrested for it. Her children ended up in the hospital with serious burns. She couldn't even visit them because she was in jail during the investigation. Neighbors wanted to help buy medicine for the kids, but they were too scared. They thought helping her would make them guilty of a political crime too. Meanwhile, a farmer who ran into the burning house to save the portraits was declared a national hero. He got awards. He got praise. Because in North Korea, the leaders' faces are more valuable than children's lives. Your hair, your name, your walls, none of it belongs to you. But Kim Jong-un doesn't stop there. He also controls what you watch, what you believe, and even what you think. In North Korea, there are only 4 TV channels. 4. And every single one of them is controlled by the government. You can't watch Netflix. You can't watch YouTube. You can't even watch the news from another country. All you see is Kim Jong-un, his speeches, his visits to factories, his propaganda telling you how great North Korea is and how terrible the rest of the world is. But some people find ways around it. USB drives get smuggled across the border from China, SD cards hidden in bags, old phones with foreign movies downloaded on them. And when North Koreans watch these things, they see the truth. They see that people in South Korea aren't starving, that people in America have freedom, that the rest of the world isn't the enemy. And that's exactly why Kim Jong-un executes people for it. In 2021, a group of teenagers were caught watching Squid Game, the South Korean show that became a global phenomenon. These kids just wanted to see what everyone was talking about. They were executed, some in front of their classmates, some in front of their parents, shot by firing squads in public to send a message. This is what happens when you watch the wrong show. It's not just TV shows, it's music too. Remember the 17-year-old executed for listening to K-pop? That wasn't an isolated case. If you're caught with South Korean music on your phone, you can get 15 years of hard labor. If you sing with a South Korean accent, even just to practice, you get 2 years. Teenagers have been sent to labor camps for texting each other using South Korean slang. 3 months of hard labor for a few text messages. Kim Jong-un wrote a letter in 2021 explaining why he was cracking down so hard. He said foreign content was a malignant tumor spreading dangerous poisons into North Korean minds. He said the youth needed to fight against capitalist influence, to dress properly, to speak correctly, to sing revolutionary songs. Anything else was betrayal. But here's the thing, the rules don't apply to everyone. North Korea's elite, the people close to Kim Jong-un, they watch American movies. They browse Instagram. They go on Facebook. Researchers discovered in 2017 that top officials were visiting websites like Pornhub. They were living the life they tell everyone else is evil and forbidden. Rules for you, freedom for them. And if you think entertainment is the only thought crime, it gets worse. In North Korea, you cannot believe in God, any God. Christianity is banned, Buddhism is banned, Islam is banned. The only higher power allowed is Kim Jong-un and his family. They are your gods now. In 2015, 6 North Korean Christians were executed by firing squad for spreading the word of God. In 2011, a woman named Kwon Yoon-sum and her granddaughter were both shot dead for being Christian. Their crime? Telling people about Jesus. In 2014, an American tourist named Jeffrey Fowle was arrested and imprisoned for 5 months. What did he do? He left a Bible in a restaurant bathroom. He thought someone might find it and read it. Instead, he got thrown in jail and was lucky to make it out alive. Even fortune tellers get executed. In 2019, 2 young fortune tellers were shot in front of tens of thousands of people in Chongjin. Factory workers, students, office workers, all forced to watch. The fortune tellers were accused of anti-socialist behavior and disrupting social order. One of them had been using young children, claiming they were possessed and could see the future. People in North Korea are so desperate, so starving, that they'll believe anyone who offers hope, and Kim Jong-un kills them for it. Think about that. In the United States, you can walk into a church, a mosque, a temple, anywhere. In the UK, Canada, Australia, you have freedom of religion. You can believe whatever you want. But in North Korea, belief itself is a crime. Unless you believe in the Kim family, unless you worship them like gods, unless you bow down and obey, and if you ever try to tell the outside world what's happening, if you ever try to make one phone call to someone beyond the border, Kim Jong-un has a very simple solution: death. So why does this still exist? Why hasn't the world stopped this? How can a country get away with executing teenagers for listening to music, torturing college students for taking posters, and forcing mothers to choose between their children and paintings of dictators? The answer is simple: information blackout. Look at satellite images of Earth at night. You can see India lit up like a constellation, Japan glowing bright, South Korea shining across the peninsula. But right next to South Korea, there's a massive patch of pure darkness. That's North Korea. 26 million people living in a country that looks like it doesn't exist. No lights, no connection to the outside world, just darkness. Kim Jong-un has built the most effective prison on Earth. The entire country is a cage, and most people inside don't even know they're trapped because they've never seen anything else. They don't know that people in other countries can watch whatever they want, listen to whatever music they like, choose their own haircuts, believe in whatever god they choose. They think the whole world lives like they do. And when information does slip through, when someone sees a South Korean drama or hears a K-pop song, Kim Jong-un crushes it, executes the person who watched it, punishes their family for 3 generations, sends a message so terrifying that everyone else stays silent. But even now, tensions are rising. Just recently in 2024, North Korea started sending balloons filled with trash over the border into South Korea. Actual garbage tied to balloons and launched across. It sounds absurd, but it's a threat. A reminder that Kim Jong-un is unpredictable, dangerous, and getting worse. While you're sitting here watching this video, scrolling through YouTube, deciding what to watch next on Netflix, 26 million people in North Korea can't even choose their own haircut. They can't call their family members who escaped. They can't read a book that wasn't approved by the government. They can't question why their leader needs portraits in every home, or why teenagers get executed for watching TV shows. They're trapped. And the only way anything changes is if the world keeps paying attention, if people keep talking about it, if we refuse to let Kim Jong-un hide his crimes in the darkness. This is why staying informed matters. This is why channels like Storyground exist, to shine a light on the hidden truths the world needs to see. If this video shocked you, if it made you angry, if it made you think, then subscribe, hit that button, because there are more stories like this, more dictators hiding in the shadows, more people suffering while the world scrolls past. Share this video, send it to someone who needs to see it. Spread awareness about what's really happening in North Korea. The more people know, the harder it is for dictators like Kim Jong-un to keep lying. The harder it is for them to hide. 26 million people are counting on the world to not forget them. Don't let them disappear into the darkness. For a different but equally interesting topic, check out this video next.